So a lot of you are headed back to school. Graduate school, more specifically. So about a year ago, I made this video on 8 survival tips for making it through graduate school, and it's by far and away the thing that I've made that's resonated most with people. So since it's the start of a new school year, I wanted to do a follow-up video with some graduate school specific tips for starting the new year. This video comes to you in 8-ish parts. Plan. But also plan to give yourself some breaks. I suspect if you're in graduate school, you're probably a pretty good planner. You've maybe color-coded your notebooks and have your calendar all mapped out so that you know exactly when you're studying for what class. And that's great, but you should also plan to give yourself some breaks, scheduled and unscheduled. Some of my favorite memories from working in a research lab were those, "Dear Lord, I need coffee so bad, anybody want to go on a coffee run with me?" moments that you'd have in the middle of an afternoon data coding session. And if I hadn't been flexible and let those things happen, I wouldn't have those memories. Read. You know that feeling the first day of class when you get the fresh, crisp new syllabus and you look through all the materials that you have to read in the course of a semester and you start feeling like you're hyperventilating? Yeah, that's a thing that's real. And yes, reading the material is important for the whole learning thing. I get it. But the fact of the matter is, you probably couldn't actually physically read all of the things on the syllabus, especially if you're taking multiple classes. I tried one semester for about 2 weeks, and it nearly killed me. And I can say that I read probably about 40% of the readings in their entirety during my graduate school classes. Sorry, professors. But I survived graduate school and have a PhD to show for it, so reading is not everything. It's important, but it is not everything. Study groups can be really helpful here. You can split up the readings and everybody writes summaries about the readings that they're assigned and shares with the rest of the group. I found that kind of thing really helpful. Work. Some of you will have jobs outside of your graduate school studies and others of you will have jobs inside your graduate school studies. From what I understand, both kind of sucks sometimes. I only worked in research labs and teaching assistantships during my time in graduate school, so all of my focus was on topics related to my field, which was great in the sense that I was always expanding my knowledge about things that were relevant to my field of study, but also kind of sucked because it meant I was constantly living and breathing school all the time. On the other side, you're taking precious time away from your studies and focusing on something that may or may not actually be relevant to your field of study. Finding volunteer and internship opportunities can be really helpful here to get you exposure to new things that are in your related field. And sometimes you can even do these things for course credit, which is helpful. Study. Build in some good study habits early. Now, chances are if you're in graduate school, you probably know how to study pretty well, but if you're less confident in this area, explore finding some environments that work for you. Maybe you like silence, or maybe you like music. Personally, I used to write almost exclusively in coffee shops in graduate school. I found the din of personal conversation and coffee machines kind of oddly soothing, but also really motivating. Though I will warn you, if you write your thesis in a coffee shop, be prepared to never, ever, 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 ever want to set foot in that coffee shop ever, ever again because of all of the memories of slogging through that horrible, horrible process. There are still places in this town that I cannot go without shuddering. Right. So much of your graduate school experience is going to be about writing of some kind. So be prepared for the writing that you thought was oh so fabulous to become oh so terrible when your professors or your research advisors review it. You're going to get slammed with feedback. It's going to feel like you don't know anything. That's okay, and that's normal. Cry a little, throw a fit in the comfort of your own home, complain to your friends and family, then dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and keep going. Because the only way that this gets better is if you buckle down, push through, and learn how to do it better. Talk. Graduate school can feel really isolating. There are times when you can't really talk to your colleagues much because of that weird comparison thing that comes into play. And then there are times when you can't really talk to your friends and family because you feel like there's no way in the world that they can possibly understand what you're going through. Those are completely legitimate feelings, but I encourage you to reach out anyway. Find those people in your life who, even if they don't really get it, will listen anyway. And talk to your colleagues who have been through some of the struggles that you're facing and get their ideas for how to cope. They're out there. Find them and talk to them. It'll make it all a lot easier. Sleep. I cannot stress this enough. Do not sacrifice your sleep and subsequently your health for graduate school. It is not worth it. Sleep is what your brain needs more than just about anything right now, especially when you're learning all this fancy new stuff. I found I could rarely sacrifice my 7 to 8 hours a night during graduate school, mostly because I turn into a really psychotic zombie when I sleep less than that, so I'm glad that I was pretty relentless in not letting that slide. I honestly think that sleep is one of the biggest things that helped me get through graduate school. Play, and play often. Exercise, sing, do theater, go out dancing, whatever's your cup of tea. You've got to have those times to let off steam and reconnect with who you are apart from just a graduate student. Find friends who aren't in graduate school. Join community groups or choirs or bands or athletic teams, whatever. Find those people who you can connect with on something that isn't graduate school. This will help you maintain your equilibrium and a perspective that graduate school too shall pass. Because life continues with or without you noticing it. But it's better to enjoy it and not just suffer through it. And lastly, and I cannot stress this enough, if you're spending most of your time feeling unbalanced and unhappy, depressed, or anxious, then that's a sign that something's not right. Talk to someone. A friend, a family member, a coach, a trained professional. And remember that yes, graduate school really sucks sometimes, and that dynamics are different in every lab or every program and in every situation. And some of them are downright unhealthy. Know that you're not alone in feeling overwhelmed and stressed out in graduate school. Everyone around you is too, even if they don't seem to be. But if you feel unwell mentally, emotionally, and physically, then it's time to rethink some things. Because no big fancy career is worth the cost of your health, ever. You have to find the balance and the path that works for you. Don't compare yourself to other people. I know it's hard, but don't do it. You are not them, and they are not you. Stepping away for a time or leaving graduate school completely doesn't make you wrong or broken. In fact, it makes you better for recognizing that your health and well-being are paramount. You need to do this journey on your terms. It's not easy, but it's important. Okay, mom lecture over. Now go and be unabashedly enthusiastic about all of the nerdy stuff that you're learning. Work hard, play harder, and love what you do. You got this.